Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. We're going to have to draw out some new fibs. Let's make sure to extend out our previous resistance level, see if that's going to work as a support for us here moving forward. And just generally speaking, what is this going to look like, right? Because I mean, Solana is in uncharted territory, at least within the last a year or so, and this is some really cool price discovery here for the more recent time frame. So what we want to look at is a few key factors. Let's remove again these fibs, try to drawing out some new ones here, and just generally pay attention to what could happen next, because if you are new to the channel, we just love to kind of understand big picture, best practice, and a lot of that looks at liquidation and larger time frames, smaller time frames, kind of getting in a good average of what the direction might hold for us, right? And again, statistically, you increase your odds of success if you look at a lot of different things, right? And what we can look at first is this here. I do want to preface and say congrats to our community members for some awesome trades. We don't need to jump into that, but I can tell you that a lot of that's happening on Bitunix. Phenomenal exchange. We're having a first official trading competition, 10K prize pool. Enrollment is 1st through the 6th. I'll link this down below as well, so you can make sure to reference the information regarding this, but you do have to use my link to register. However, if you had, you'd be eligible for this, of course, but if you're new, make sure you check that out, and you have to use my link to qualify. But again, really awesome stuff. We got the P&L, trading volume, lucky draw. There's some really cool features here, so check that out in your own time. Again, that'll be linked in the description below. What we want to look at here, though, is the back end data. Let's go ahead and start with this. This is the last 12 hours. We got a lot of shorts entering the market at about 136. I can see why, because again, that's an overextended state. The price action for Bitcoin seems to be kind of pulling back a little bit, establishing lower lows, lower highs. So in general here, with that natural pullback, we're seeing more shorts. This is, again, the last 12 hours, and that's at 136. There are some longs, but not too many between 127 and 128. Let's just quickly look at the last 7 days. This will tell us a slightly different scenario, but just kind of letting us know $100 is that largest level of liquidity on larger time frames. And if we zoom into, we can kind of see again, there's that 136, 137, anywhere as low as 121 too. Okay. The reason why this is helpful, it just kind of helps us understand where the price action could go next. We got a large liquidity up here at 136, just above that most recent resistance. Okay. But not a ton below, but 130 to 128, we also have some liquidation right there in this guy. Okay. So again, just kind of like to note that so we understand where the whales may continue to push the price action. They're really good at manipulation, and that's just what it boils down to. That is the market. If you don't like it, you probably don't want to continue in crypto. Go back to a regular market and wake up early so you can catch the pre-market hours. Have fun with that. I'm not a morning person, as my community knows, so whatever. To each their own. I did that for years, and I've done my time. And thank you for crypto. Thank you to crypto for the opportunity for 24/7 trading. Having said all that, MACD is converging here. We know this. These are all bullish signs. There's literally nothing that's working yet against us. We do look at stochastic RSI. It's still swinging up. Money flow index is high, and RSI is up over 70. Traditionally, we can see RSI over 70 stays for about 1 to 2 weeks. That's kind of the average. Again, across all coins that I've ever analyzed, I can say that's usually a pretty consistent average. Okay, so now that we're over that level, we can presume the RSI will stay high. Does that mean the value of Solana can't come down? No, it just implies that the value will likely stay high because we've broken through a key level resistance and we have a lot of money flowing into this coin to back that up. You can see all this money flowing in here. It's a ton of volume, okay? So again, cool stuff there in that regard for Solana. Now, what does that mean for us in the big picture? Well, if we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, this is kind of more like a midterm. We're still bullish here. We can see stochastic is pulling back, but the price actually isn't raking back too hard, okay? So even though we have our second stochastic swing to the downside, which carries a little bit more weight, it's still maintaining its level at 2.236 fib at 129 or higher. So far, we can kind of presume that 129 will be somewhat of a support. I'm more along the lines of 126 being a support, or we can round up and say 127, because again, that was a more recent high where the price action rejected out initially. A lot of times that can work as a new low. But in truth, the way that I see it here now that we're under 70 on the RSI, trending towards 50, if the price does end up pulling back, a really common place of retracement is this 0.5 to 0.618 level. So I would say 113 to 118 is possible. Is it probable at this point? Not just yet, but we are starting to get a divergence that's forming, so we'll see here in the near future if that is the case. Honestly, with all this volume at this lower level between 110 and 113, I'd be surprised or remiss if Solana pulls back below that level, okay? Am I saying we're going to pull back to that level right now? No, I'm just generally speaking in terms of common retracement if Bitcoin were to just say lose 60,000, for example, then we'd probably see a retracement in that range. That's just generally what we're looking at, okay? So just kind of be mindful of that. If that is the case, I think you'd probably all welcome an opportunity to get in at 110 to 115, okay? Having said that, let's look at the hourly to kind of confirm if there's any shift in momentum here that's occurring, because a lot of coins are exuding similar behavior right now. Bitcoin's looking very similar, where the conversion lines above the baseline were close-ish to the cloud, but the lagging spans within the price action. That's generally a rule of thumb to take profit on a long position if you haven't already, okay? So I would say being greedy right now isn't ideal, but we can see also too somewhat of a trend line here that we are effectively closing below, okay? So the last couple of hours, we've lost this initial uptrend, kind of letting us know we're below the moving averages, at least the ideal ones, likely the 20-day SMA, which is right there, okay? So in truth, it doesn't mean the price is going to drop or plummet. It just implies if you would take a short position when that trend line is lost, you'd have success until it hits its next key level support, which right now we don't truly know where it's at, but it's got to be somewhere between 127 as low as, I would say, this next level at 122. Now, again, this is a previous closure here. This line here is significant. This is a weekly candlestick closure from before. So again, that level at 122 is fairly significant, especially running concurrent in a lot of ways with that 0.382 FIB. So again, there's a handful of little things that could happen here. If we look at Elliott Wave on different time frames, it's going to give us different scenarios. But no matter how you look at it, if the price were to pull back, I think the 110 to 115 range makes the most sense. I would say just prepare yourself mentally for that as a possibility. Do you short into that? I get that question a lot. Definitely not. I don't know. That's just me personally. I don't like shorting Solana. That's just, I've seen so many horror stories, so many people coming over to my community asking how I can recover their Solana bags because they shorted at the wrong time. Okay, again, shorting Solana is a challenge. It's a hard thing to do. The only reason why I say that is just because there's so much volume. It's such a volatile coin to the upside in most cases that doesn't spend a lot of time going down. It recovers quickly. So that window of opportunity is fairly small, so I don't recommend that. I would recommend, again, DCAing, dollar cost averaging. The key levels to pay attention to is 127, 123, and then, of course, the 110 to 113 range. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at there. Is the price going to explode and take off? It is not showing any signs that it wants to, but we're still establishing higher highs and higher lows. While we did break the ascending trend line initially, this is a short-term trend line. It isn't the sky is falling trend line, okay? We got a lot of time between now and then. So generally speaking, be cautious, be careful. Make sure you also check this out. And again, I'm just reiterating this to those of you who like to fast forward to the end. You know who you are. Shame on you for trying to get the answers at the end, because honestly, you're doing yourself a disservice by not learning, right? That's the whole concept of this, at least it should be. Do the work yourself. You're going to find much more success. And never rely on other people. And even for those who are taking my trade signals, learn what you can from it so you can apply your own risk tolerance, because mine's way different than yours. Anyways, 10K prize pool. You have to use my link to register. If you had previously, of course, you'd be automatically eligible. But make sure if you are considering a no KYC, no VPN exchange and you want to have some fun, jump on over this. They are an excellent exchange. You're going to love them. And some really cool prize pool options, PNL, trading volume, and a lucky draw. These are really cool things. All these features are linked down below. I hope you learned something here today. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and following. I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.